You won't believe how these lottery winners turned their luck into smart financial moves in 2023. But what exactly did they do with their fortunes that turned their luck around? Oh, let's uncover their secrets. Number 14. The anonymous winner. The staggering $1.348 billion Mega Millions jackpot kicked off the year with a bang on January 13th. This huge prize, the sixth largest in U.S. lottery history, was claimed under a veil of secrecy by Lacoma Island Investments, LLC. The winner, who purchased the ticket in Lebanon, Maine, chose to stay out of the limelight. In the world of lottery winnings, the choices made post-win are as crucial as the luck that leads to winning. Whether to reveal one's identity or remain anonymous is pivotal. These choices shape the immediate aftermath of the win and set the course for future financial stability. Many winners choose anonymity to maintain privacy and avoid unwanted attention or solicitation. Anonymity can protect against potential threats and help maintain a sense of normalcy in life. However, in some cases, winners choose to reveal their identity, often driven by a desire for recognition or to share their joy publicly. This choice can lead to public scrutiny and open opportunities for public speaking, book deals, or other ventures that capitalize on their newfound fame. In this particular case, the winner made the wise decision of staying anonymous. However, anonymity couldn't shield them from drama, as the winners later found themselves entangled in a legal battle. The case, which centered around accusations against the mother of the winner's child for allegedly revealing his identity to family members, stresses the unexpected challenges that can accompany such life-altering wins. However, staying anonymous helped the winner avoid other problems that often come with going public with lottery winnings, such as predatory investors and robberies. By staying faceless after winning perhaps the biggest prize this year, this winner made a calculated and smart decision. Although this winner decided to remain in the shadows, this next person wasn't afraid to flaunt his luck. Number 13. Johnny Taylor Lump Sum Strategy. April brought another headline-worthy win with Johnny Taylor, a 71-year-old from Queens claiming a $483 million Mega Millions jackpot, the largest ever in New York State. His reaction to winning was one of sheer disbelief. Opting for a lump sum of $157,288,402 after taxes, Taylor's humble statement, "It still doesn't feel real," resonated with many. A winner's first significant decision after winning is opting for a lump sum or an annuity. The lump sum option offers immediate access to many winnings, typically about 60% of the total jackpot. This choice is often attractive because it provides a massive amount of money up front, offering the flexibility to invest, make large purchases, or settle debts. However, it also comes with considerable tax implications and the challenge of managing a significant amount of money simultaneously. On the other hand, choosing an annuity spreads the winnings into annual payments over a period, often 30 years. This option can be less overwhelming, providing a steady income stream and potentially less yearly tax burden. It can serve as a safeguard against impulsive spending and provides a long-term financial security net. However, it limits immediate access to the full amount and can be less adaptable to changing financial needs over time. Opting for a lump sum when winning the lottery can be a smart decision for several reasons. Apart from access to instant money, taking the lump sum allows winners to grow their wealth through strategic investments, as they can take advantage of compounding interest or invest in high-yield opportunities that may not be available. Additionally, choosing a lump sum helps to mitigate the risk of future changes in tax laws or lottery policies that could affect the total amount received. This immediate control over the entire sum also enables winners to plan their estate more effectively, ensuring their wealth is managed according to their wishes. Lastly, considering the time value of money, a lump sum now is often worth more than the same amount spread over many years due to inflation and the potential for investment growth. While this winner made smart decisions, this next one managed to one-up him. Number 12. Record-breaking Texas lottery winner. The Blue Yucca Trust of Rapid City, ST, made headlines with their $361 million Mega Millions win on October 6th. This win was notable not just for its size, but also for its record-setting nature in Texas lottery history. The winning quick pick ticket, purchased in San Angelo, Texas, led to a cash option claim in November of $157,367,045 before taxes. Choosing the cash option when winning the lottery can be wise for several reasons. It offers immediate financial control, allowing winners to manage and invest a large sum immediately, potentially leading to significant wealth growth through smart investments. This approach avoids future uncertainties, such as changes in tax laws or financial circumstances, ensuring winners can maximize their winnings under current conditions. The winner also remained anonymous, which was another very clever move. Staying anonymous after winning shields winners from unwanted public attention, reducing the risk of being targeted by scammers, opportunists, or distant relatives seeking financial help. Anonymity also helps preserve personal relationships by avoiding the potential strain that sudden wealth can cause. It allows winners to continue their lives without disrupting and scrutiny often accompanying public knowledge of a windfall. Moreover, staying out of the public eye helps maintain a normal lifestyle and mental well-being, free from the pressures and expectations of being known as a lottery winner. Although this entry's decision was wise, the next winner came with a plan in mind. Number 11. The Powerball winner with a plan. March 4th marked another intriguing chapter with a $162.2 million Powerball jackpot. The winner also remained anonymous, adding an air of mystery to their newfound wealth. But what stood out was their choice of the annuitized prize over a lump sum, a decision not often made by lottery winners. This option suggested a more calculated approach to wealth management, prioritizing long-term financial stability over immediate gratification. Opting for the annuitized prize when winning the lottery can be smart, particularly for those seeking long-term financial stability. This choice ensures a steady income stream over many years, which can be particularly beneficial for individuals who may not be experienced in managing large sums of money. It safeguards against impulsive spending and the potential risks of squandering the winnings quickly. Additionally, annuity payments can be more tax efficient, as they may keep the winner in a lower tax bracket than receiving a large lump sum. This steady income also allows winners to plan their finances with a predictable annual income, providing a sense of security and the ability to budget effectively over the long term. This smart winner may have made smart financial choices, but this next one had far more noble intentions in his mind. Number 10. Jerson Garcia's future investment. The story that really stands out was that of Jerson Garcia, a Bronx resident whose life changed overnight on January 17th. Garcia's win was remarkable not just for the amount, a cool $20 million from Mega Millions, but because it was his first time playing the lottery. This incredible stroke of luck turned the first-timer into a millionaire, defying all odds and expectations. Garcia's reaction to his win was a mix of disbelief and joy, a sentiment shared by many first-time winners who are suddenly thrust into a new financial stratosphere. What set Garcia apart, however, was his vision for the future. He expressed a desire to use his winnings to fulfill a dream shared by many, buying a home for his mother. This heartfelt intention reflected the joy of winning and the humanistic side of lottery wins, the ability to improve lives and fulfill long-cherished dreams. Garcia's story is a powerful reminder of the impact that lottery winnings can have on a personal level. It's not just about the numbers and the statistics, it's about the human stories, the dreams, and the plans that come to life with such wins. His plans to invest in his family's future illustrated a thoughtful and caring approach to his newfound wealth. While losing money after winning a lottery is common, not all winners follow this unfortunate path. The smartest ones, who made wise decisions with their winnings, provide valuable insights into managing sudden wealth. Many have made smart decisions over the past few years with their newfound wealth. Number 9. Emma Wilden, a sustainable plan. A stay-at-home mom from Cinderford, England, Emma Wilden's life dramatically turned on July 31, 2013, when she won £1 million from a scratch card. Unlike the USA, where lottery winnings are taxed, the UK taxes only the interest gained. With the full amount at her disposal, Wilden made some smart choices. Despite her win becoming public knowledge, she resisted giving handouts to everyone who asked, understanding the risks of strained relationships and financial exploitation. Her husband, a financial advisor, guided her in investing wisely. The family allocated £100,000 for immediate enjoyment, like a Range Rover and new clothes, while the rest was invested in property, creating a sustainable income stream for themselves. They also set aside funds for their children's education, ensuring long-term benefits from their windfall. Emma and her husband continued to live a relatively modest lifestyle, avoiding the trap of extravagant spending that befalls many lottery winners. Additionally, they contributed to local charities, focusing on causes close to their heart. Think this was a wise move? This next one made an even smarter one. Number 8. David Kaltschmidt and Maureen Smith's secret. This couple from Florida won a massive $528.7 million Powerball jackpot. Understanding the risks associated with such publicity, they kept their win a secret, even from their adult children, until they had their affairs in order. They contacted financial experts and faced the tough decision between annuity payments and a lump sum. Despite the larger tax implications, they opted for the lump sum because it opened up immediate investment opportunities. Maintaining their previous lifestyle, they invested most of their winnings and contributed to local charities, demonstrating a balance between financial wisdom and social responsibility. The couple also established a trust fund, ensuring their children and grandchildren a secure future. They avoided extravagant purchases, preferring to spend on meaningful experiences and family vacations. Furthermore, they became active philanthropists, focusing on educational and healthcare initiatives in their community. Their approach to wealth management has been praised for its foresight and emphasis on long-term stability. By staying grounded and seeking professional advice, they successfully managed to navigate the complexities of sudden wealth. While these people had a good plan in mind, the next winner made all the right decisions for himself. Number 7. Yancey Hicks' Subway Dreams. A McDonald's employee from Chicago, Hicks won $1 million in 2008. His expenditure was moderate, including a $30,000 Corvette and a new house. The most significant change came when he bought a Subway franchise, fulfilling his dream of being his own boss. Hicks exemplifies how a lottery win can transform one's career aspirations and provide a foundation for future growth. Additionally, he invested in his education, taking business courses to manage his franchise better. This improved his business acumen and gave him the confidence to expand his entrepreneurial ventures. Hicks also set up a college fund for his children, ensuring that his windfall would benefit his family in the long term. He regularly speaks at local schools, sharing his story to inspire others about the possibilities of financial responsibility and entrepreneurship. Hicks' journey from a fast food employee to a successful business owner highlights the power of strategic planning and the positive outcomes of using lottery winnings to achieve personal and professional goals. His commitment to self-improvement and community involvement made him a respected figure in his community. Just like him, the next winners did something similar. Number 6. Brian and Mary Losi, Philanthropic Wins. After winning a $202 million Powerball jackpot, this couple from Bondurant, Iowa, decided to give back to their community. They paid off their church's mortgage and donated $3 million for a new high school stadium. Additionally, they built a $4.5 million grocery store, addressing a local need and earning respect and gratitude from their neighbors. Beyond these major contributions, the couple also established a charitable foundation to support various community projects and initiatives. They focused on education, healthcare, and local infrastructure improvements, believing in the power of investment in community development. Their approach to philanthropy was hands-on, often involving themselves in project planning and execution. They also set up scholarship funds for local students, providing opportunities for higher education to those who might otherwise struggle to afford it. Their commitment to Bondurant transformed the couple into local heroes, admired for their generosity and community spirit. But the next entry on our list had a far more calculated approach. Number 5. Brad Duke and the Importance of Discipline. A lottery winner from Idaho, Duke won $220 million in 2005 and took home a $125 million lump sum. His ambitious goal was to turn this into $1 billion through smart investments. He focused on expanding his fitness company, investing in real estate, and managing his wealth with a team of experts. Though he hasn't reached the billion-dollar mark yet, his wealth has grown substantially, proving that a disciplined and strategic approach can multiply lottery winnings significantly. While Brad Duke's luck was great, it's nothing compared to our next winner. Number 4. Richard Lustig. Repeated winnings. Known for winning the lottery 7 times, Lustig's total winnings amounted to over $1 million. He turned his lottery success into a business, writing books and making TV appearances, showcasing how lottery fame can be leveraged into a sustainable source of income. Richard Lustig's unique approach to playing the lottery garnered him widespread attention, leading to his status as a lottery expert. He capitalized on his repeated wins by developing a method he believed increased his chances of winning, which he shared in his book, Learn How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery. His strategies, while met with skepticism by statisticians, fascinated the public, making his book a bestseller. Lustig's appearances on national television programs further solidified his reputation, allowing him to charge for speaking engagements and consultations. Additionally, he created a software program based on his methods, diversifying his income streams. This entrepreneurial spirit demonstrated how a lottery winner could not only manage their winnings wisely, but also use their unique experiences to carve out a niche in the public eye, turning lottery success into a long-lasting venture. Just like him, our next winner used a unique strategy for his money. Number 3. Peter Lavery. Irish Luck. Peter Lavery, a former bus driver from Belfast, won £10.2 million in the UK National Lottery in 1996. Lavery's strategic move into the whiskey business, partnering with Cooley Whiskey Distillery to create the Danny Boy brand, proved to be a masterstroke. Coupled with his investments in over 30 properties across Northern Ireland, Lavery has more than tripled his lottery winnings. His success in the whiskey industry was a financial victory and a cultural one, as the Danny Boy brand gained international recognition, celebrating Irish heritage. Beyond business, Lavery's been involved in philanthropy, setting up the Peter Lavery Trust, which supports various local charities and community projects. His story exemplifies how lottery wealth can be used for entrepreneurial ventures and community betterment. Lavery's investments in real estate also demonstrate a keen understanding of the market, making him a respected figure in the Northern Irish business community. His journey from a bus driver to a successful businessman and philanthropist inspires many, showing that wise investment and a community-focused approach can lead to sustained financial success and societal contributions. Peter Lavery's philanthropic efforts are not unlike those of our next entry, who did something similar. Number 2. Lorraine West. Making a difference. Lorraine West, a single mother from the United States, hit the Powerball jackpot in 2018, walking away with $343.9 million before taxes. She donated $500,000 to the Travis Mills Foundation and established the Callum Foundation, which supports animal welfare, veteran affairs, health, and education. West philanthropy highlights the impactful use of lottery winnings to give back to the community and the fulfillment it brings. Her decision to contribute to the Travis Mills Foundation, a group dedicated to aiding recalibrated veterans and their families, underscores her commitment to addressing critical issues facing veterans. Additionally, through the Callum Foundation, named after her late grandson, she aims to make a lasting difference in areas such as pediatric healthcare, poverty, and animal safety. West's story has inspired many, showing that sudden wealth can be a powerful tool for positive change. Her generosity also sheds light on the potential for lottery winners to effect significant societal improvements, setting a precedent for future winners. While her generosity is heartwarming, the next person on our list has truly left a mark on lottery winner history with his brains. Number 1. Jason Fry. Calculated moves. Jason Fry from Florida turned his $14 million win from the $47 million Florida jackpot in 2007 into a thriving business empire. He initially indulged in his dream car and fun times with friends, but wisely invested the rest. He bought a Golf World 2 driving range, generating significant annual revenue, and acquired a Batteries Plus store in Fort Myers, which became one of the brand's best-performing stores. Fry's story is a prime example of how lottery winnings can fuel entrepreneurial ambitions and create sustainable business ventures. The remarkable tales of the 2023 lottery winners make it clear that these stories are more than just about striking it rich. They're narratives of chance, choice, and the human experience. From the record-setting $1.348 billion Mega Millions jackpot claimed under anonymity to Johnny Taylor's disbelief in his $483 million win, each story has its own unique flavor. These smart winners showed us the art of flourishing their fortunes, a path less traveled in the lottery world. Most winners are tempted by quick gains, often finding their pockets empty as swiftly as they were filled. Some manage to spend all their earnings in disastrous ways. Here are 20 lottery winners who lost it all.
If you won the lottery, what would you buy first?
By buying all of his cars.
Now, what good is having millions of dollars in the bank if you don't spend any of it?
I bet you have an answer. But would your first purchase be as big as the one these lottery winners made? Stick around to the end to find out what the winner of the latest record-breaking $2 billion Powerball jackpot spent his new fortune on. It joins this list of gigantic purchases. Like number 15, a TV show. Jonathan Vargas was still a teenager when he won the Powerball in 2008. But even though he was just 19 years old, he knew exactly what he wanted to spend his $359.3 million fortune on. He created his dream TV show. It was called WrestleLicious, and it was all about promoting barely dressed female wrestlers. Weirdly, there wasn't much wrestling on the show. Instead, they had to perform comedy sketches. I don't know why. Anyway, it didn't last long. The show only lasted one season before it was taken off the air. Vargas said he does regret spending so much of his lottery winnings on the cringe-worthy show. But does he regret his first lottery purchase as much as this lottery winner? Number 14, Moon Property. David Copeland got super lucky when he won $1 million, but some people think he totally blew all that cash on his first purchase. What was it? Property. That's normally a good investment, except his 3 pieces of land are located in some pretty unusual places. One patch is on the Moon, one on Mars, and one on Venus. Maybe 2 of those will come in handy, but scientists say Venus is totally unfit for humans to live on. Also, I don't think any builders are willing to put a house on the Moon. What do you think? Did David waste his lottery winnings? What about this next winner? Number 13, boob jobs. Loads of lottery winners want to give back to their families first. Sometimes, this is just about giving them cash. Others buy lavish gifts. Sarah Cockings did that. Kinda. When she won $4 million at the age of just 21, she wanted to include her 2 sisters in her good fortune. So, she booked all 3 of them in for a boob job. Did they need it? We'll never know. But she still has a lot of her winnings in the bank, so she seems pretty sensible. And she probably still has a lot more cash than this next person on the list. After he bought, number 12, a football team. Colin Weir and his wife were lucky enough to win a whopping 161 million British pounds back in 2011. That's over $201 million. He could have bought just about anything with all that cash. So what did he choose? He bought his favorite football team, spending over $3 million. That's a crazy price tag. But it got even bigger. Turned out, when he bought the team, he was also buying their debts. He stuck to the deal though, losing most of his lottery winnings paying off their debt. Sadly, Colin passed away a few years ago, but he made sure he went out with a bang by throwing a huge party for all his friends that cost over $1 million. And he didn't even get to see it. But he's not the only person who spent loads of cash on a good time for other people. Number 11. Marijuana legalization. Bob Erb had a pretty unusual lottery story. The day of his father's funeral turned out to be the luckiest day of his life when he stopped to buy a lottery ticket on his way to the cemetery. Amazingly, it won him $25 million. It was his first win, even though he'd been playing the lottery for 45 years. So what did he spend it on? He gave a mind-blowing $1 million to 420 Day in support of marijuana legalization. Do you think that was a good thing to spend $1 million on? How about this next weird purchase? Number 10. A music career. Back in 2011, the Griffiths won $3.2 million on the lottery, and Roger knew exactly what he wanted to spend it on. While his wife was busy buying houses worth over $600,000 and a series of luxury cars, Roger grabbed $30,000 for himself. Sure, it's not the biggest purchase on this list, but it's a lot of cash to spend the way he did. He used it to try to get his college band to the top of the charts. It won't surprise you to hear it didn't work. It didn't take long before they'd blown all their winnings and got a divorce. But this next purchase may have been a little more successful. Number 9. A whiskey distillery. Peter Lavery from the UK hit one of the biggest jackpots the country had ever seen and took home $17.7 million. He knew he wanted to invest some of his new fortune into his biggest passion, whiskey. But he didn't just want to buy an expensive bottle and drink it. He wanted the whole business. So he bought a whiskey distillery. It cost him a whopping $5 million. But amazingly, it was a pretty good investment. He recently sold it, but it was earning him a pretty big profit for years. And even the sale earned him money. This next lottery winner also spent his winnings on a successful business, but it was even weirder than whiskey. Number 8. Popcorn. That's no joke. One lottery winner really did spend a chunk of his winnings on popcorn. Jeffrey Dampier won $20 million in the lottery in 1996. He decided he was going to move to Florida and open a popcorn shop with his new cash. He even named the shop after his granddaughter. He hoped that it would give his family a better life. Sadly, the shop was put up for sale after he was tragically murdered by someone who wanted his money. He's not the only winner to invest in a business, but the next one might have been a little too ambitious. Number 7. A production company. When Cynthia P. Stafford won a whopping $112 million, she didn't need to think too hard about what to spend the money on. Sure, she first made sure to spend some on the 4 kids she'd taken in after her brother died in a car accident. But once she knew they were okay, she decided to follow her dream of becoming a film producer. She opened Queen Nefertiti Productions. Obviously, making movies costs a lot of money, but they can also make a lot of money. Sadly, that's not what happened. Her production company was a failure, even though it did make a few films that got some good reviews. At least Cynthia tried to make something. The next purchase on this list was all about destroying stuff. Number 6. A demolition derby. English teenager Michael Carroll became a millionaire thanks to the UK National Lottery. But what does a 19-year-old spend $18 million on? Michael decided to buy a huge mansion and set up a demolition derby in his backyard. Most of the cars were ones he'd bought himself, and a lot of them were luxury cars. It won't surprise you that he ran out of cash pretty quick. He'd literally spent it all on things he was going to destroy. That's not a great investment. But is it the worst one ever? You can decide after you hear about this next way one winner spent their millions. Number 5. Poker. Evelyn Adams became one of the luckiest people in history when she'd won the lottery not once, but twice. Her back-to-back wins in 1985 and 86 meant she had a total of $5.4 million in her bank. There's a lot you can do with that kind of cash. But Evelyn decided to spend it on only one thing. She took it to the casino. I guess she figured she had more luck left in her, but she was wrong. Between playing poker and the slots, she spent nearly every cent of her win on gambling, making this one of the biggest purchases on our list. By 2016, she was reported to be living in a trailer park, totally broke. Did our next winner spend her money on something better? Let's find out. Number 4. A high school. Gloria McKenzie was already 84 years old when she won a mind-blowing jackpot in 2013. She hit the Florida jackpot worth $590.5 million. That's a breathtaking amount of cash, especially to someone who was living in a rundown rental apartment. Obviously, she upgraded her own house, and it was a big upgrade to a seaside mansion, costing her $1.2 million. But even that wasn't her biggest purchase. She spent a whopping $2 million on a local school that needed a new roof. That seems like a great way to spend your winnings. this next lottery winner might not have made such a great choice. Number 3. Politics. Janet Leigh won an incredible $18 million back in 1983, and she knew exactly what to do with it. She spent a huge chunk of her winnings on support for the Democratic Party. But it wasn't a great decision. She obviously didn't make any calculations, because between the donation and her debts, she ended up totally broke. Oof. But that's not the worst thing a lottery winner spent loads of cash on. This next thing might be the worst decision ever. Number 2. Bail. Marie Holmes was a single mom struggling to make ends meet. Then, in 2015, she hit the jackpot. She was one of 3 people who won the North Carolina Powerball's giant $564 million jackpot. That meant her share was worth $188 million. Obviously, she made sure her 4 kids were looked after and bought all the stuff you'd expect, like a new house. But one of her biggest expenses was a total waste. She kept spending millions on bailing her boyfriend out of prison. Got a huge prison sentence, but not before she'd spent an incredible $21 million bailing him out. You'd think he was grateful, but he later tried to sue her from prison for selling the stuff she'd bought him. So I think we can all agree, she should have just flushed the money down the toilet. But what about the newest winners who took home a record-breaking jackpot? Did they spend their money on something better? Number 1. Famous neighbors. The latest Powerball winners have been in the news for winning a gigantic jackpot worth $2.04 billion. That's more money than most of us could ever spend. So what was their first purchase? It's just as luxurious as you'd expect. They bought a huge mansion surrounded by famous neighbors in the Hollywood Hills. The house cost them an eye-watering $25.5 million. That's one of the most expensive properties ever sold in the hills, and definitely the most expensive purchase on our list. And it's still less than 3% of their winnings. Let's hope they hang on to their cash. We all know big purchases can lead to losing it all, but it doesn't have to be that way. Instead of blowing their winnings and going broke, some winners are pretty good at keeping their fortune. Take a look at our list of the smartest lottery winners of all time to see how they did it.
Lottery winners and their outrageous homes. They have everything from mountaintop mansions to secluded estates that are sure to leave you speechless.
I can't believe it!
So don't go anywhere till we show you the craziest mansions ever bought by lucky winners. Number 10. Norfolk Mansion, Michael Carroll. From rags to riches and back to rags again. That's the story of Michael Carroll.
My name is Michael Carroll. 10 years ago, I won £10 million on the lottery.
In 2002, Michael Carroll won $12.4 million in the National Lottery at just 19 years old. Once a refuse collector, Carroll quickly elevated his lifestyle and bought The Grange. It was the house he got for $435,000. Excited by his newfound wealth, Carroll added $500,000 worth of extensions to the property. He even installed a new swimming pool and jacuzzi. With a prime location and luxurious amenities, the property could have been worth at least $900,000 now. But only on one condition: it would need to be maintained properly. Unfortunately, that's not really what happened. The Grange quickly transformed into a drug-fueled party house. Every room bore signs of substance abuse and wild partying. His behavior got so disruptive that the local council set up a hotline specifically for his neighbors to report noise complaints. But his luxurious life did not last for long. In 2005, Carroll's behavior escalated to the point where he received an antisocial behavior order. He was found drunk and catapulting steel balls from his Mercedes van in Downham Market. He received a sentence of 240 hours of community service and a stern warning, but Carroll continued on his path of self-destruction. Soon, all his money was gone. As a result of unpaid bills, Carroll's electricity and gas supplies were cut off, leaving him to move out. Thieves ravaged the now abandoned house, stealing anything of value they could find. And guess what? They even went as far as dragging the jacuzzi through a wall using a rope and a van. What was once a lavish property was left in a state of ruin and put on the market for a mere $181,000. The good news is that the new owner of the Grange plans to spend $192,000 to turn the former party pad back into a family home. While Michael's mansion suffered from neglect, the next one flourished under an owner who maintained its grandeur throughout her life. Number 9. Seaside Mansion, Gloria Mackenzie. Gloria Mackenzie was a 93-year-old retiree from Maine who died this year. She was 83 when she won a jaw-dropping $590.5 million Powerball jackpot in 2013. This was the largest individual lottery win in history at the time, and she was the oldest one to win that much money. Mackenzie chose to claim her prize, which, after taxes, was reduced to $278 million. Despite her newfound wealth, she initially kept a low profile. She moved into a luxury hotel from her rental apartment in Zephyr Hills. This is where she purchased the winning ticket. She stayed there until her new dream home was ready. Her new address? A stunning 6,322 square foot mansion in the upscale Glen Kernan Country Club community in southeast Jacksonville, costing $1.2 million. This property was hidden away in a gated golf course community in Ponte Vedra Beach. It was built back in 2002. The mansion has 5 bedrooms, a library, a home theater, and closets that could pass for small bedrooms. The screened-in pool adds a touch of the exotic to this seaside mansion, offering the perfect place to unwind and enjoy the Florida sun. In this way, Mackenzie has spent her winnings in a manner befitting the magnitude of her jackpot. She traded her rental apartment for a luxury mansion where she could enjoy her golden years in peace and tranquility. And yes, she did indeed. Unlike Gloria, the next lottery winner was not so cautious with his winnings and his grand mansion, and sadly, he lost it all. Number 8. Palm Beach Mansion, David Lee Edwards. David Lee Edwards is a man who once faced jail time in Kentucky, but then hit the jackpot in 2001. He won the Powerball lottery, making him $27 million richer overnight.
When I went up there and played that lottery, I was sincere when I asked God to help me because I was desperate. I felt just desperate in my soul.
At the top of his shopping list was a 6,000 square foot mansion in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. The price tag? A cool $1.6 million. The mansion boasts a private tennis court and an exterior grandeur that left bystanders in awe. However, the lavishness did not stop at the mansion's gates. David's driveway was always full of fancy cars, so many that his neighbors started complaining. They would say that it looked more like a high-end car dealership than a home. Inside the mansion, David had a strange taste in decorations. He filled his rooms with medieval armor and swords. Most of these were not real but cheap copies, but they gave the place an eccentric, castle-like feel. It was clear David was living out a fantasy with his new riches. David's spending did not stop there. He shelled out $600,000 for a Learjet and hired a personal pilot for it. But, as we know, every fairy tale has its twist. David had a problem. He got caught up in drugs and could not control his spending. His millions started to slip away. In just 5 years, all the money was gone. The fancy cars, the jets, and even the grand mansion had to be sold. His wife walked out, taking their daughter along. Alone and broke, he saw his last days in solitude. There's no doubt his mansion was luxurious, but the next one on our list is fit for British royalty. Number 7. Frognall House, Colin and Christine Weir.
It was just, magical, but, we still couldn't sleep. We were just, absolutely full of adrenaline.
Back in 2014, lottery winners Colin and Christine Weir fell head over heels for Frognall House after only a 10-minute viewing. This magnificent Edwardian mansion in Southwood Troon in Scotland, which is set on 16 acres of lush greenery, was too tempting to pass. It cost them a cool 3 million British pounds, which translates to roughly $4.1 million, and was worth every penny. Located about 8 miles north of Ayr, Troon is known for its lively town center, excellent shops, and renowned restaurants. However, the real charm lies in its homes, and Frognall House is undoubtedly one of the finest in this western Scottish locale. Step inside, and the grandeur of the mansion sweeps you off your feet. The ground floor boasts a multitude of rooms designed for both entertainment and comfort. A morning room to enjoy your breakfast in peace, a drawing room for quiet afternoons, a dining room that can host lavish feast, and a billiard room for some fun. A spacious kitchen, a prep kitchen, utility and laundry rooms, and a wine cellar take care of all the practical needs. That's not all. There's also a meeting room, an office, a staff room, and a conference room, taking work from home to a whole new level. And let's not forget the shower room, 2 WCs, and a 7-car garage. The first floor features 4 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms, while the second floor has a kitchen, sitting room, and 3 more bedrooms. Every nook and cranny of the mansion exudes luxury, while a lift ensures easy accessibility across floors. And when you step outside, 2 garden rooms provide the perfect spots to enjoy the 16-acre grounds. The Weirs turned their lottery win into a fairy tale life at Frognall House, one of the grandest properties in Scotland. While the Weirs mansion radiates glamour and indulgence, the next lottery winner went for a touch of the old world. Number 6. Medieval Mansion, Neil Trotter. Imagine winning a massive $137 million in the Euro Millions lottery and deciding to spend a significant chunk of it on a medieval mansion. That's exactly what Neil Trotter did in 2014.
Nikki said I went as white as a sheet, and she screamed at me, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I've won the lot."
Neil Trotter is a 41-year-old motorsport enthusiast who became Britain's 4th biggest lottery winner. Before his life-changing win, Trotter used to live in a suburban home on a bustling main road in Surrey. Following his enormous windfall, Trotter and his partner, Nikki Ottaway, expressed their wish for a slower pace of living. As if heeding their words, the couple almost moved out overnight from their small 3-bedroom house. After months of exploring properties across the home counties, Trotter finally found his dream house nestled deep within the countryside of Kent. This Grade 2 listed manor house, which was worth $6.3 million at that time, came with its own lake and a whopping 400 acres of land. It's an 8-bedroom mansion that comes with expansive views of the beautifully landscaped gardens and lake. It's bordered by dense woods and open fields. Inside the mansion, there are large wood-beamed rooms and grand stone fireplaces. And yes, you sensed it right, these offer a medieval squire's home vibe. There's also a separate 3-bedroom oast house, distinct for its conical roof. This structure was originally used to dry hops for beer. Now it just adds an old-world charm to the place. The mansion has ample space for Trotter, his partner, and his daughter from a previous relationship. Trotter also confessed his dream of owning luxury cars, including the classic Sierra Cosworth and a McLaren P1 supercar. However, he assured his neighbors that he had no plans to build a racetrack. Initially, there were no signs of any supercars, but soon enough, 2 new Range Rovers found their spots in his big medieval home. This crazy big mansion perfectly covers the Trotter's desire for a slower, quieter life. While Neil took a step back in time, opting for a medieval home, our next winner went big, buying a home where the stars live. Number 5. Cotswold Mansion, Joe Thwaite. From just being an average citizen to becoming one of the biggest Euro Millions winners, Joe Thwaite's life changed overnight on May 10th last year.
don't need to filter. I can actually just look at anything. So I sat there giggling away to myself, thinking, oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
His lucky dip ticket made him richer by a whopping $235 million. Like any other lottery winner, Joe too decided to upgrade his lifestyle. And so he moved into a grand Cotswold mansion in Oddington, Moreton and Marsh, in his home country of England. The man splurged a hefty $9.26 million on this grand property, becoming a part of the neighborhood that has high-profile names living there. The Gloucestershire area, where his new home is situated, is a hotbed of A-list celebrities. Living close by are David and Victoria Beckham, actor Jamie Dornan, and Richard E. Grant. Moreover, the Cotswolds area is a favorite haunt of several senior royals. It's also close to the home of the Grand Tour host Jeremy Clarkson. Imagine being neighbors with such famous personalities. Joe's Cotswold mansion stands majestically on 6.2 acres of land in Oddington. It's a 7-bedroom property that offers more than just a luxurious living space. It also comes complete with landscaped formal gardens, a tennis court, a swimming pool, and stables. What makes it stand out are the additional garden stores, standalone secondary accommodation, and a state-of-the-art gym, which even has its own changing rooms. The interiors of the mansion are no less impressive. The master bedroom suite is an extravagant affair with a dedicated dressing room and an ensuite bathroom. Additional amenities include a garden barn that comes with games and a party room, a drawing room, 2 guest flats, and a reception hall. This mansion is also in close proximity to a Grade 1 listed church. In other words, it truly embodies a fairy tale-like life. While Joe bought this lavish home out of admiration, the next lottery-winning couple bought one just to avoid trespassers. Number 4. Lakeview Mansion. Lisa and John Robinson. Meet John and Lisa Robinson, the most down-to-earth millionaires you might ever encounter.
We are from a small hometown, and we are very private people. We just basic life.
They're the lucky duo who once lived in a modest $150,000 home, only to find their lives flipped upside down after they won a mind-boggling $528 million in the lottery. But here's the interesting part. They swore they would not let their newfound riches change their simple way of life. The Robinsons were adamant that they would stay put in their humble home. Fast forward 6 months, however, and the picture looked slightly different. The media and money-hungry strangers wouldn't leave them alone, so they decided maybe moving was a good idea after all. John and Lisa took a well-deserved retirement and invested part of their enormous winnings in a jaw-dropping $10 million mansion. Tucked away in a secluded area, this immense mansion is surrounded by a dense forest, creating a private sanctuary. The property extends right up to the shoreline of a stunning lake, an exclusive piece of nature that the Robinsons now call their own. The mansion is nothing short of extravagant. It boasts multiple bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, a state-of-the-art gym, and a personal cinema. Imagine watching your favorite movies from the comfort of your own home theater or working out with a view of a pristine private lake. So, it's true. This house truly has it all. The Robinsons picked a quiet spot for their mansion, but the next winners are ready to invite anyone in their big home. Number 3. Airbnb Mansion. Adrian and Jillian Bayford. In 2012, Adrian Bayford and his then-wife Jillian hit the jackpot, a whopping $190 million.
I never thought I was ever going to win. You all hoped he was going to win, but I don't know what we got.
With their newfound wealth, Adrian had a unique idea. He decided to buy a $15 million private estate, a property so massive it could house more than one dwelling. Just a stone's throw from Adrian's main mansion, around 240 feet to be exact, stands a charming 3-bedroom farmhouse. And here's where the story gets interesting. Instead of keeping this extra house for personal use, Adrian turned it into an Airbnb. And it's not every day you get to vacation in a lottery winner's extra house, right? And at around $140 a night, it's a steal. The Airbnb farmhouse is no ordinary rental. It's described as tastefully decorated, boasting a sleek kitchen, a cozy living room, and 3 bedrooms that can accommodate a family comfortably. There's also a bathroom, a downstairs WC, and a private garden complete with a patio and seating area. Now, you may wonder why a man who became a millionaire overnight would want to run an Airbnb. Interestingly, the income from this Airbnb does not even match what Adrian earns from his lottery money's interest in just 13 minutes. But it seems he enjoys sharing a slice of his luxurious life with others. However, this unique venture has had its challenges. Adrian was forced to increase security after squatters took advantage of the empty property and used his swimming pool. But despite these hiccups, this Airbnb is up and running, offering guests a chance to get a taste of the lottery winner's life. While the Bayfords share their beautiful mansion with others, this next lottery winner chose absolute seclusion. Number 2. Mountaintop Mansion. Rick Knudsen. Rick Knudsen, a jackpot winner of a staggering $180 million in 2014, did not just buy a house, he bought a mountain.
Saw the numbers, I scanned it, my eyes like 3 times, I go, I got this.
For 23 years, Rick and his family had lived in their old home. Though they vowed to stay humble after their win, they could not resist the lure of a grand new home. They purchased 845 acres of land in Oak Glen, California, and built a mansion unlike any other. Today, that property is valued at $26 million. This mansion is not just any mansion. It is the highest elevated compound in all of Southern California, ensuring privacy and a commanding view of the surroundings. Its vast interior stretch over thousands of square feet. From the outside, it might appear like a colossal 5-bedroom chalet, but once you step inside, the surprises never stop. One of the first things you will notice is the wood-paneled elevator. It's not every day you see an elevator in a home, let alone one that spans 3 floors. The master bedroom is where things get even more unique. There are actual boats hanging from the ceiling, adding to the quirkiness of this extravagant mansion. The mansion does not just stop at bedrooms and elevators. It also boasts a 17-seat theater. Just imagine hosting movie nights here. For fitness buffs and wine connoisseurs, there's a fully equipped gym and a wine cellar. The master suite comes with its own deck and jacuzzi, offering an exclusive spot to relax. The mansion embraces a country aesthetic with wood beams, exposed stone, and earthy tones. It even includes a 1-bedroom apartment with a separate entrance and a full kitchen. Just perfect for guests or staff. Parking is not a concern with 800 acres of land, but the expansive garage ensures your luxury cars have a place of their own. The mansion also features a personal sauna, the perfect touch of luxury for the everyday. Once you've had enough indoor fun, step onto your balcony. The view will take your breath away. You'll see your land stretch out in front of you, including an apple orchard and, yes, your very own herd of 45 buffalo. There's even a cleared space for a helipad and commercial snow clearing equipment for when the weather gets nippy. In short, it's perfect in every way. No matter how grand and opulent this mountaintop mansion is, it pales in comparison to the last residence on our list. Number 1. Hollywood Hills Mansion. Edward Castro. A simple guy from Pasadena recently found himself standing on top of the world, or at least Hollywood Hills. This guy, Edwin Castro, became the world's biggest lottery winner who won the Powerball lottery, bagging an astonishing $142 million jackpot. But what do you do when you suddenly stumble upon a pot of gold? You invest in your dreams. That's precisely what Edwin did, dropping $25.5 million on a luxurious Hollywood Hills mansion. It's not just a house, it's a 13,500 square foot palace of dreams. And guess what? His new neighbors include celebrities like Dakota Johnson and Ariana Grande. Imagine stepping into the grand foyer, greeted by a double-height staircase that takes your breath away. This dream house was designed by the famous Roman James Design. With 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and 2 powder rooms spread across 3 levels, Edwin has created a private haven for himself. The mansion is complete with an enormous outdoor pool and a gigantic fireplace, an outdoor kitchen for warm, sunny days, a sauna for those chilly nights, a private gym for workouts, and a wine cellar for those perfect evenings. Also called an entertainer's dream, the mansion also boasts a game room, a bar, and a fitness studio with hot and cold plunge facilities. And who wouldn't love to host movie nights in their own personal movie theater? Outdoors, along with the infinity pool, the property also features a spa, 2 fire pits, a built-in barbecue area, and panoramic views of downtown LA to Century City. All this is captured through a wall of Fleetwood glass doors, creating an idyllic indoor-outdoor living space. Every lottery winner in this video struck gold with their dream mansions. There's no doubt about that. But wait, we're not done yet. Click on the video below to enjoy an exclusive tour of the opulent mansion owned by none other than the legendary rapper Eminem. Every lottery winner in this video struck gold with their dream mansions. There's no doubt about that. But what about the famous people who lost their dream homes? Check out our list of the famous rappers who got foreclosed on. Imagine you win $1 million overnight. Now, what's the first thing you would buy with all that money? If you need some inspiration, we've got stories of lottery winners who went all out with their first million in ways that'll make your jaw drop. Let's have a look at some of these wild spending sprees. Number 7. The Rainbow Sherbet. In 2012, Louise White of Rhode Island became an overnight sensation by winning a colossal $336.4 million Powerball jackpot. The story behind her win is as delightful as it is unique. It all began when one of her family members started craving Rainbow Sherbet, and so Louise decided to take them to a store to get the dessert. It was the same store where Louise decided to purchase a lottery ticket, the very ticket that would turn out to be worth millions. Then, Louise did something really smart. The first thing she did with her lottery money was to set up a trust fund. She called it the Rainbow Sherbet Trust, after the lucky dessert that led her to buy the ticket. This trust was made to help her family, and it was her unique way of saying thanks to her lucky dessert and making sure her family was taken care of. Where Louise used her winnings to do something for her family, this next couple did something for everyone around them. Number 16. Water Park. John and Linda Kuti were a happy couple living in Green Island, New York, and in March 2011, something amazing happened to them. John, who worked at the New York State Homes and Community Renewal, bought a Mega Millions ticket with his coworkers. And guess what? They won the massive $319 million jackpot on March 25, 2011. After splitting the prize, John and Linda ended up with $19 million. They wanted to do something special with their money. They wanted to give back to their community and honor their parents. So what did they do? Well, they went to their hometown officials and asked them how they could help. The officials had a great idea, building a water park for the community. John and Linda loved it. They donated $200,000 to build a spray park in Green Island. Now, kids and families have a cool place to hang out in the summer. How awesome is that? John and Linda's decision was just perfect, and they would always be happy about it. Unlike this next winner, who spent his winnings on a thing that he regretted later. Number 15. Ressolicious. This is the story of Jonathan Vargas. In 2008, this 19-year-old from South Carolina just wanted some iced tea and gas. So he stopped at the Casey Raceway station. On a whim, he bought his first lottery ticket. And guess what? On May 17, 2008, he hit the jackpot, winning a massive $35.3 million in the Powerball. His life turned upside down. What do you do with all that cash? Well, Jonathan had a wild idea. He started an American women's wrestling TV show called Ressolicious Takedown. Pretty cool, right? In 2009, they released a trailer to hype up Ressolicious. The show finally aired in March 2010, 2 years after his big win. They signed several wrestlers, and the show had lots of matches. Jonathan even appeared on the show as JV Rich. Later, he thought about making a reality TV show based on Wrestlicious. The show was a success overall, but there were rumors that he had some regrets about how he spent his winnings. Well, spending it all on a show is one way to go, right? Like Jonathan, this next winner spent his money on something he loved, but never regretted it ever. Number 14, marijuana. Bob Erb's story from Terrace in British Columbia is a bit different. In 2012, he was on his way to his dad's funeral in Calgary. During a stop at a gas station, he bought some lottery tickets. It wasn't his first time buying a lottery ticket. He'd been buying for 43 years now, and to his luck, he won $25 million. But here's the thing. Bob was already pretty well known in Terrace, and not for the lottery. Back in the 2001 provincial election, he ran for the BC Marijuana Party. His whole campaign was about legalizing and decriminalizing marijuana. He even gave out free joints while campaigning. Now, with all this lottery money, Bob decided to really push for marijuana legalization. He spent about $1 million on his campaign and supported the federal NDP because they were all for legalizing it too. It's not every day you hear about a lottery winner using their money like this, right? While some spend money on things everyone can benefit from, others decide to use their winnings to improve just their life. Number 13, dream home. Laura and Roger Griffith's story starts with a lottery ticket and a $3.6 million win. Roger was an IT manager, and Laura taught performing arts at a local college. They were smart, but managing this much money, that was new to them. So what did they do? Well, Roger quit his job and they invested in everything they could think of. And then they decided to spend their winnings. They went for it and bought their dream house for $1.6 million. They didn't stop there. A shiny new Porsche convertible and a Lexus SUV soon followed. Their 2 daughters got enrolled in private schools, which cost them $40,000 a year. Then came their shopping spree. Laura and Roger loved shopping. They splurged on jewelry, designer clothes, you name it. Then came the vacations. They went on fancy trips to Dubai, Monaco, and Rome. First class all the way. And just like that, their millions were spent on living their dream life, one luxury at a time. Laura and Roger spent their money on just about everything except one important thing. Interestingly, this was precisely what the next couple chose to invest in first and foremost. Number 12, personal advisor. Merle and Patricia Butler were a retired couple from Red Bud, Illinois, and when they won, they had a different approach to their lottery win. They struck it big, winning around $158 million before taxes. Unlike many others, the Butlers didn't rush to spend their fortune. Instead, they took a thoughtful step. Their first move was to meet with financial advisors. Instead of dreaming up ways to spend their windfall, they focused on how to invest it wisely. They wanted to make sure their money would last and work for them. So they decided to use a good chunk of their winnings to get advice from financial planners and attorneys. It wasn't about flashy cars or luxurious trips for the Butlers. They believed getting professional guidance was the best use of their money. And guess what? It turned out to be a really smart decision for them. However, this next person was not so smart about her winnings. Number 11, gambling. Let us tell you about Evelyn Adams. She's a New Jersey woman with unbelievable luck. She won the lottery twice within 6 months, back in 1985. The first time she won a whopping $4.95 million, and just 4 months later, she hit another jackpot of $1.4 mil. Imagine that! Evelyn was working in a convenience store when fortune smiled at her, but then her story took a twist. With all that cash in hand, she headed to Atlantic City. The bright lights of the casinos called her name, especially the slot machines. It was like a dream, right? But as time went by, Evelyn's dream started to fade. She kept playing, and the money kept slipping away. Fast forward a few years, and she had spent it all. From living the high life, Evelyn ended up in a trailer home. Quite the roller coaster, huh? Makes you think about the Butlers and their smart choices. However, Evelyn still spent her first $1 million on something she enjoyed, just like this next couple. Number 10, Mediterranean cruise. Paul and Denise Hardway's story from Cardiff is like a fairy tale. Paul was a chef and Denise was a bakery supervisor. They were living the typical hardworking life in 2015. They barely saw each other because of their jobs. Then something worse happened. Paul found out he was going to lose his job. So what did they do? They added an extra line of lucky dip numbers to their lottery ticket. And guess what? They hit the jackpot, winning $5 million. Being huge rugby fans, they had their big check presented at the Millennium Stadium by none other than the legend Gareth Edwards. And guess what was the first thing they did? Paul and Denise quit their jobs and hopped on a cruise to the Mediterranean. They wanted to let their win sink in, away from it all. When they got back, they paid off their mortgage and bought their dream house in Somerset. They literally had their life turned around in a day. While Paul and Denise focused on treating themselves first with their lottery win, this next person put the needs of others before her own. Number 9. Breast implants. Sarah Cockings was a social work student when she hit the jackpot in 2005, winning an impressive $4.2 million. Now, you might think she would splurge on herself, right? But no, Sarah had other plans. She'd always been super close with her family and believed her win was as much theirs as it was hers. So what did she do? She went all out for her loved ones. Sarah bought her parents a new house, treated them to vacations, and even got them cars. And her generosity didn't stop there. She also took care of her siblings, including giving money to her sister for her breast augmentation. That's how Sarah used her first million. Like Sarah, this next person didn't forget his family members while spending his first million. Number 8. Vacation for all. Nigel Willits from Caerphilly had a pretty normal life in 2014, running his own pub. He spent his days waiting tables, pouring drinks, and ensuring everyone had a great time. Then something extraordinary happened. He won $1.27 million in the Euro Millions raffle. So what did Nigel do with his winnings? Well, he decided to see the world, but not alone. He started by taking 13 family members on a dream vacation to Florida over the holidays. And what about his pub? Well, he's still got it. Nigel runs the place with a little help from his sister. But that's not all. He also invested his lottery money in something fun, 2 trampoline parks in Cardiff and Swansea. It seems like Nigel found the perfect balance between enjoying his winnings and keeping his beloved pub going. But unlike Nigel, who enjoyed and shared his winnings, this next woman's story didn't have quite the happy ending. Number 7. Shopping spree. This is the story of Viv Nicholson from Yorkshire. Her life changed overnight when her husband won a whopping $193,000 in 1961. And then the woman went on a spending spree like no other. Within just 2 months, she was burning through cash at $1,700 a week. First up, Viv bought a fancy $5,000 bungalow. Then, the cars. A sleek silver Chevrolet and a flashy pink Cadillac. And her hair? She went all out, dyeing it shades of pink champagne blonde, then green, yellow, and blue. Viv loved her fashion too. She bought countless frocks, furs, and shoes. In fact, this one time, she purchased 14 pairs of shoes in one go. Now, it's hard to imagine what happened to her afterward. In just 5 years, all that money was gone. Viv went from being a rich wife to someone who had an empty purse. It's a real-life story of rags to riches and back again. Unlike Viv, this next winner used her first million in the smartest ways. Number 6. Political donations. Janet Leigh's story is quite unique. In 1993, at 60 years old, she won a staggering $18 million. Instead of splurging on luxuries, Janet had other ideas. She decided to use a significant chunk of her winnings to support the Democratic Party in St. Louis. But that wasn't all. Janet was incredibly generous. She donated a lot of her money to the University of Washington. Thanks to her, they built a library with a reading room in the law school, named in her honor. It still doesn't end there. When her stepdaughter graduated, Janet made another hefty donation, earning her a spot on the parents' honor roll as a Life Elliott benefactor. But like many stories of lottery winners, Janet's had a sad ending. She also dabbled in gambling. Fast forward 8 years and Janet's fortune was gone. Just like Janet, this next couple shared their first million with others. Number 5. Family treasure. George and Beryl were an English couple who really hit the jackpot in 2012. Against the odds of 14 million to 1, they won 4.45 million US dollars. Now, you might be wondering what they did with all that cash. Well, they did something pretty heartwarming. They decided to share their windfall with their family. Each of their 4 sons got a generous $31,000. Their 9 grandchildren each received $12,000. And they didn't forget about their siblings either, making sure to give them a share as well. Now, even after all that giving, they had some money left. Guess what they did with it? Well, they figured, why not try their luck again? Some of that leftover cash still goes toward buying more lottery tickets. So, in a way, they're still keeping their dream alive. While George and Beryl decided to include everyone in their winnings, the next winner kept the money to herself. Number 4. Funding the dream. In 2018, Charlie Lagarde turned 18 years old, so she decided to take a chance and play the lottery. And you know what? She won it. It was her first time playing the lottery and she won it. Charlie was given a choice: take a lump sum of $1 million or take 776.73 USD every week for the rest of her life. She went with the weekly option. Why, you ask? Well, Charlie had a dream. She wanted to take photography classes, and that weekly option was just perfect to fund that. By choosing the weekly payments, she secured a steady income to support her passion. And if you do the math, it is a smart move. Let's say Charlie lives a long, full life. Over 60 years, that weekly $776.73 will add up to 2.4 million USD. So, Charlie's decision to go for the weekly payout is an investment in her future. Pretty clever, right? While Charlie invested in her future, this next woman spent her first million on something she'd been dreaming of for ages. Number 3. Disney World. Tiana is one lucky lady from Colorado. She had a stroke of good fortune in June 2022 when she won a sweet $3 million in the lottery. So what was the first thing she wanted to do with her newfound wealth? Well, she decided to treat her family to a special vacation. Her destination of choice was none other than Disney World. She whisked her little ones off to the magical kingdom for an unforgettable experience. While many lottery winners might think of paying off bills, saving for retirement, or splurging on new cars, Tiana had one other idea in her mind: owning a ranch. It had been a long-standing dream of hers. That's how she chose to spend her first million. While Tiana spent the money on herself and her family, this next person decided to spend it on complete strangers. Number 2. Gift cards for strangers. Crystal Dunn from Kentucky had a moment of incredible luck. She won $146,351 right after placing a $20 instant play wager. Once she picked up and deposited her check, she had a unique idea for her first spending spree. Her next stop was Meijer, a well-known supermarket chain. There, she did something pretty extraordinary. Crystal bought $2,000 worth of gift cards. But then she did something heartwarming. She started handing them out to complete strangers shopping in the store. Crystal felt she had received a gift and believed strongly in the idea of paying it forward. So she chose to spread some joy and generosity among the people around her. As for the rest of her winnings, Crystal bought a car and paid off her bills. It was a thoughtful and kind way to start using her lottery winnings. Now, after hearing about Crystal's generous spirit, let's turn our attention to the winner of the biggest jackpot ever in America. How did he spend his first million? Let's find out. Number 1. Hollywood Dream Home. Edwin Castro won a whopping $2.04 billion in the Powerball drawing of November 2022. The man chose the lump sum option, netting $997.6 million. And guess what? He used to live in a modest one-bedroom house when he won, so Edwin made grand plans for his first big purchase. He set his sights on the California real estate market, securing not one, but 2 multi-million-dollar homes. From living in a one-bedroom house, Edwin moved to a 14,000-square-foot mansion that has 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and an incredible infinity pool. It's a true rags-to-riches story. Hey, did you enjoy these amazing stories about how lottery winners spent their first million? Then you're gonna love what's coming up next. Check out our next video to see the dumbest first purchases ever made by lottery winners. You won't believe some of the crazy things people have bought. Just click to watch and get shocked.